Wake.Show. As everybody knows, a show needs an intro. This is that intro. I am Fisher, your host. Here's his little Roxy. 2 more days of the Wake.Show. Our future is in jeopardy. Good morning and welcome to the Wake.Show. Roxy, go back to there we go. All right, good morning and welcome to the Wake.Show. My name is Chris Fisher. Got very late today, and sorry about that. Had to restart everything twice this morning, and that's always fun. How you doing, cousin? Good to see you. Do a little sharing before we get into the show today. The last 2 episodes before break, and I'll be, honestly, it might be the last 2 episodes of the Wake.Show. How you doing, Robert? It's not that we're just going to revamp things and relaunch things. I think I've already covered some of the reasons why. All right, it's not 100% sure yet. Hold on. We are live. We are live. Whoops, live. Accidentally spelled we are live. All right, so we got a couple of things to cover today as far as the future of the Wake.Show goes. We're going to revamp and relaunch. There will be a daily. I think there's going to be a daily show, but it may not be the Wake.Show. And the reason being, I've shared some of the reasons. One of them is when we first started this show, it was going to be, hey, what do you want to do, Fisher? You've done radio for a long time, and Cord's like, I've got all this technology. Let's do it. Whatever it is you want to do. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Well, that's a horrible thing to ask of somebody who has a creative person with a lot of ADD, because I want to try to cram everything into something, and that's just not the way things work. So I've learned a lot over the past 164 episodes, starting with Johnny Torres, who got this thing up and running, and then Sam Miller, who came in, and then Chris McCarty over the past few months. And I think because this is not just new technology, but this is, all this stuff is being explored by different, there's podcasting and live streaming and radio streams on the internet and all that kind of stuff. So this is still kind of a new frontier in technology and content delivery and information gathering and, so on and so forth. So I'm leaning towards these are going to be the last 2 shows of the Wake.Show. And then when we come back, I'm going to take a week off. Well, take a week off from doing the show. I'll still have like 3 or 4 gigs next week. Good morning, Elliot. Nice to see you. Talking about the future of the Wake.Show. And then the following week, put together the new show, which is going to be kind of a midday oriented show, one that is PG rated. You're not going to, I won't be, you won't tune in and hear, me say shit, because one of the censorship rules that we've had leading up to this point is radio rules plus shit, because I want to be comfortable, right? If this is going to be my show, I guess along the way, one of the things I learned is that I don't need, I need to put on a show for the city of Tampa Bay and follow the lead of things that work, and put together something that is palatable to you and your kids if you're watching, and something that the people here that back this show, Bake More Pies, feels comfortable tuning in and showing their parents or a prospective client, and not concerned that all of a sudden I'm on some crazy rant and and seething about something, or I'm dropping, I'm saying shit or whatever. Good morning, Kimber. But anyway, I'm not too, whatever. Let's hit a couple of things today. I hope all is well, and we'll figure things out as we go along. I also see. Here's the thing. I think the Wake.Show. If we're going to do the Wake.Show, then it's about the wake you make. I think you make it very specific, and maybe we even turn this over or sell it to people in the market, or hell, I guess it doesn't even have to be Tampa Bay, but people that are looking to make a difference on the internet themselves. And so the Wake.Show is perfect for them, and then sell them all the infrastructure that goes along with it as far as, the Google accounts, Facebook, the website itself, the Wake.Show. If you could interview Elmo, my kid would love your show. Yeah, I'm sure. Listen, I'm not saying that it needs to be for your kids. It's just that you don't have to concern yourself if your kid walks into the room, what might be coming out of my mouth. And then I'll turn my crazy over, the fun part, over to my, Fisher the Man 1 2 3, Fisher the Man 1 2 3, and not turn that into any kind of a show. It'll just be kind of like my, I'll figure that out, like some kind of a weekly diary, or we'll see. I have different ideas on that. All right, so the random conversation starter today: if you could domesticate / tame any wild animal, which animal would it be? And not only that, but it's a special ray. You just shoot it with a special ray, and it automatically becomes domesticated. It's not going to attack you. It is going to cuddle with you, maybe. And it shrinks to the size of a house cat. All right? So somewhere between, 10 pounds and 75. I've seen some of your house cats. They look like cartoon characters. You know what the first animal was that popped in my head? The hippo. I don't know why. That was the first one to pop in my head, that I thought it would be so cool if you could domesticate. I guess also the hippo is one of the most testosterone-filled creatures on the planet, and one of the most aggressive, right? They're up there. Those, rhinoceros, the bull shark, I believe. And not only that, but they're very graceful underwater, so it'd be really cool to get a pond out back, or some kind of a pool or something like that. And then you've got this cool little, hippopotamus, the size of a cat, about 20, 30 pounds, and he's not going to attack you or be mean. And next, go in the house, into the pond, and they're so graceful and adorable. All right, so you guys say giraffe. A lion. That would be, of course, big cats would be amazing. That'd be, honestly, if I were to sit down and we'd really, if we were to have some drinks and argue this out properly, debate this out properly, in the end, it would be hard not to pick something like a big cat, a tiger. Come on, man. If you could just go bzzz, and all of a sudden a tiger is domesticated, a Siberian tiger is domesticated, and the size of a house cat, that'd be one of the coolest creatures on the planet. Or anything that cat basically is something that's huge and a mammal, like a bear, a grizzly bear. What if you could shrink a grizzly bear or a polar bear to the size of a cat, and it's also domesticated, and you can train it to do some tricks too? That'd be a pretty cool thing. A couple of small sharks. Okay, there you go, because you're domesticating them. So yeah, you can shrink a Nile crocodile. A crocodile or a great white, and throw it up. Oh, no, it's fine. It loves kids. You can go ahead and go swimming. Enjoy your afternoon. Big cat, an elephant. That'd be kind of cool. If you get your own little herd, your own little pack, get some acreage, and you got little pachyderms, but none of them are bigger than, 30, 40 pounds. All right. Well, there's our random conversation generator for today. A gorilla. Damn, that'd be pretty cool. I'd still be scared. You just all of a sudden just rip my arms off in the middle of the night. I guess I'd be scared too if a lion was sleeping in the bed. They don't need to be shrunk, but owls that can transport my mail. Best answer of the morning. That's awesome. All right, a couple of things to hit today. We got Chuck E. Cheese in the dirty dining category, which, come on, let's be honest, people. You could probably walk into any Chuck E. Cheese at any time and swab anything, and there's probably a potential pandemic brewing in every Chuck E. Cheese ball pit in America right now. All right, so that's on the slate today. Also, the state attorney receives, well, this is just something I wanted to pass on. We don't have to dwell on it too much, but the state attorney has received the case of the Clearwater man killed in the Stand Your Ground shooting. This is something that not too many people are defending, well, except for the sheriffs. And no, he's not defending the actions. He's basically saying, listen, the way this law is written, I'm not handling this. We're going to send this to the state. So that's enough of that. And let's get to the serious issue today. We were talking about smoking. Was it just yesterday? And a lot of us agree that we are not big fans of smokers. Some of you are smokers. And, it had to do with the housing, housing for people that are living off of the government, and you're not allowed to smoke anymore. So, well, today, Raymond James Stadium becomes a smoke and tobacco-free venue. Now, you haven't been allowed to smoke in the seats since I don't know when, going back, I'm sure, a little bit at least. But now those areas where smokers could go off, and they're always packed. Why are they doing this? And by the way, and again, let's reset up that I am not I hate smoking. I abhor it. It disgusts me. But I get it, and not only that, but people who smoke, it's not a choice for 90% of them. They are smoking because they are addicted to it, because they're high anxiety, or they weren't high anxiety until they started smoking, and then when they stop smoking, then they're high anxiety and they got to smoke again. So what's the purpose? Do you like this, by the way? You go, no, this is the way it should be, and we should just keep pushing and keep pushing until finally you can't smoke anywhere. There's nothing good that comes from smoking tobacco. All it is a money generator for the tobacco industry. They get you hooked on something that doesn't even taste good, doesn't make you feel good after the first what I guess for some of you have one while you're drinking, and it takes it to the next level or something like that. But other than that, there are no benefits to it whatsoever. But this is good old capitalism at its finest. Let's get you hooked on something you don't need and make you, and then. All right, I'll stop. Ooh, hate the smell now. Yeah. Quit 2 years ago. Best thing I ever did. Oh, so Kimber, so have you become a smoking Nazi? I will say this again. I do not smoke. Never have smoked. Abhor it. But sometimes I agree with the adage. There's nothing worse than an ex-smoker as far as somebody who is a complete a-hole. Elliot, I love the smell of cigarette smoke and always have. I actually really like the smell of a house or car that people smoke in. I don't know where that comes from. I hope you're being sarcastic. I don't think you are, though. Like me and my cousins, we all love the smell. Our grandfather, Bumpa, used to smoke a pipe, and that smelled really good. But not cigarettes, man. I grew up like, both my parents smoked. I grew up like this. Not even kidding. And back when I was a kid, I wouldn't get angry at it. It was just like a thing, right? This is what you're growing up in. So, at any given time, me and my brother were watching the television, and as soon as I smelled that little, because my parents are somewhere else, in the house, so they lit up. We just go like this. Boop. Just keep watching TV. It wasn't like we went, Mom, Dad, it's just the way it was. Now, later on, once I hit my teen years and the testosterone started to course through my veins and I thought I was a Billy Badass, I remember one day in my late teens going off on my father, It was about smoking, and because back then I was stupid and I thought they had a choice. I thought they could give up smoking if they really wanted to, if they really cared about us. That's not the case. That's not how it works. But I lit him up. That was not on purpose. And said something to the effect of, if you're ever on your deathbed, dying of cancer, I will be hovering over you, and I can't remember, basically mother effing you the whole time, reminding you that you had decisions you could have made. So that story, by the way, I forgot about, or that moment, I forgot about. But I guess it was done in front of the entire family and my brothers, who were 10 years younger than me, so they were probably still 8 or 9 at the time. It was a very vivid memory. So when my father was on his deathbed because of cancer and his face was missing, my brothers pulled me aside. My brothers pulled me aside and said, "Hey, man, we need to talk to you." I said, "Okay. You're not going to," and then they tell me the story from our childhood, and they were all concerned that I was going to follow through and hover over my father and mother F him while he's sitting there dying, which was not even a thought in my head. Not even, because by the time this happened, I was an adult. And although I hadn't fully matured, I'd matured enough to know that my father and my mother both love us more than anything in the world. And we're part of a generation that, got hooked on cigarettes. Never say a word to smokers. Good, Kimber. Do you have to withhold sometimes, Kimber? Do you have to go you want to light them up and and you don't, or you get it. If somebody tried to talk to me 5 years ago about quitting, there's no way I could have quit back then. All right, so anyway, Raymond James Stadium is becoming fully smoke and tobacco free beginning this month. The Tampa Sports Authority made that announcement yesterday. The move means all designated smoking areas which had previously been located inside the stadium will be removed. They are kind of banishing smokers way to the edge of the earth like we don't want you around anymore, said Cheryl Ward. Not quite that far, but the outside gates will be the barrier. So you can go outside the gates. So, yeah, no, we're not in the stadium. But once you're out, you won't be allowed back into the event you're attending. I have a conspiracy theory to throw out there real quickly. This is backed by the pharmaceuticals. Because for those thousands of people that go to these games that are smokers, there's no way they're making it through a game without smoking unless there is something else. So they're either going to get that much more drunk or they're going to have to start bringing Xanax with them so that they can calmly sit in their seats and not want to choke somebody by halftime. Not even at halftime. You can't even go out somewhere to have. And again, I hate smoking. I'm completely against it. But I don't like this, man. I don't know. Right, Elliot. Yeah. We're not going to let you smoke anymore, but you want to come back up for your 8th beer. You're visibly cross-eyed, stumbling. It looks like you're getting ready to puke. It's okay. Let me swipe that card. Oh, thank you for that extra, another $15 for that beer. And now off you go. Don't have a cigarette. Hey, no cigarettes. What are you thinking? Last night at a Park and Rec, there was this woman who was just first she was like 6 foot, maybe even more. No, maybe heels on more. 6 foot and kind of skinny, whatever. And she was so drunk that she looked like. And Johnny Torres made this observation, so I don't want to take credit for it. Unless he feels like he wouldn't want me to make that public, then I'll take credit for it. He said she looked like a newborn giraffe. And by the way, that's a great one too. To have a giraffe that would be that size, the size of a cat, and be domesticated. That'd be really cool. But so she was so drunk that she looked like a newborn calf every step she was trying to make. And it's one of those things, too. I'm not going to judge the couples because I don't know them and I don't know the history or whatever. But she is, just sloppy, right? And then at some point, like one of her friends helps her out. And her friend's like 5'4". And this poor girl's doing everything she can to try to get her out. And her boyfriend, this big-ass boyfriend that's there, as she turns around and sees her leave the bar, he goes like this, makes all those motions like, get out of here, And in my head, I'm like, dude, that's your girl. You need to go make sure she's okay. But again, who knows? Maybe she gets like this every weekend. Maybe he said, I don't want to go out tonight because I know you're going to get sloppy drunk again. I'm going to have to take care of you. If you do that, I'm not taking care of you. Bring one of your friends. So I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying. All right. Sorry about that tangent. Oh, but my point is also, every time I turn around, she's got a new drink in her hand. And at some point, she was trying to get up on the stage, and she's so tall and had such long arms, she could kind of step at the front and reach over and grab my stuff. Well, she's going to grab onto my stuff to pull herself up. My stuff's not attached to the stage. It's all sitting on a tabletop. So if she goes to do that, she's just going to pull everything down. And so I grab her hands and go, hey, no. And she goes, what? It's me. It's me. I'm like, it's who? It's me. She was in a different world. I hope she got home okay and is still alive today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now to the most surprising headline of the day. Dirty Dining, Chuck E. Cheese Pizza. Time. Chuck E. Cheese Pizza shut down after they found 130 plus rodent droppings near food and drinks. All right, I know there's probably some easy jokes in there that concern the rat from Chuck E. Cheese. When was the last time you guys went to a Chuck E. Cheese? It's been a while for me. It was one of my nieces and nephews in their earlier days. But I will say that it did seem like one of the more I'm not OCD at all. I'm not a clean freak, anything like that. But it did seem like a very disgusting place walking in there. And to watch all the kids Yeah. Diving into the balls, and then to see and have parents, and then I say something to one of the people that we're with, and they're like, "Well, it's inoculation. You let the kids mix it up in here. They get they're going to get the flu. They're going to get a cold. They're not going to get something that's going to kill them. They're just going to get something that makes them stronger." And I was like, "That does seem like a pretty good point, but I'm no doctor." And then the only thing else I remember from that day, well. The other thing I remember, the other significant thing I remember from that day is that they did not sell liquor. They sold beer, but not liquor. And back then, liquor was quicker. I wasn't going to, I want to stick, and I needed to get away from all the screaming kids. So there was a Bennigan's or some Chili's next door or something like that. So I went next door and started bellied up to the bar there. And this was in Orlando, right? And so I'm I'm sitting there having, my raggedy ass beard, sitting at the bar, drinking probably Jack Daniels and Diet Coke by myself, and all of a sudden there's this woman at the other end of the bar. There's really nobody there. Me and this other woman, and she looks down. And she goes, and this is in Orlando, right? This is in Orlando. "Hey, are you from Tampa?" And I go, "Yeah." "Are you Fisher from 97X?" And this was back when I was still working there. I go, "Yeah." And she's, "Oh, whatever." And so I'm like, what are the chances? There's nobody here. I'm basically, what is it? It looked like a loser. Well, I guess she did too, because she was there by herself. And the reason that she was there drinking by herself is because she had brought her kids to town for some like cheerleading event or gymnastics or something. So they were out competing, and she didn't want to be around it. So she found herself the nearest bar too. Good story, Fish. This is why we tune in every day. Elliot, I remember Chuck E. Cheese being a pit when I was a kid, but I take my kids now. It's a lot cleaner now. The one on 19 anyway. There's no ball pit. Yeah, I would imagine those things are probably long gone. There were ball pits the last time I went, but that was 6-7 years ago. All right, listen. We're gonna have a good show tomorrow. I know the shows this week have been really, really lackluster. But we're going to have a good show tomorrow. It'll be a good last show going into break, and it might even be the last show of the Wake.Show. And we'll talk more about that tomorrow. Chris McCarty's going to be here. We'll have the Shame Game, and hopefully even, maybe give you guys some insight on what's going to be happening. I think you probably have enough insight. Yeah, you can fill in some blanks. But all right, so have a great day. If you guys are out at the beach tonight, St. Pete Beach, then join me at Masteries starting at 7 o'clock for trivia night. At Blind Pass tomorrow night. I'm out at Maple Lanes, Countryside, from 10 until 2 a.m., playing the music and giving away prizes every 15 minutes. And other than that, have a great day. Thank you so much for, humoring me and my aimless ramblings. And looking forward to tomorrow.